let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Yes, shine. Lord have mercy, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine, shine on me. I wanted to tag this text for a few minutes and talk about God's layaway plan for our treasures. God's layaway plan for our treasures. Thank you. Ushers, you may retire. Jesus is concerned about everything that affects our life. He's not only concerned about our shout, but he's concerned about our struggles. We are so important to God until that he has numbered the very hairs on our head. He knows us. He knows us by our given name. And he knows us by our nickname. He's concerned about us. He's so concerned about us that he said, if I would feed the birds, I certainly would put bread on your table. And here in our text today, he opens up something that I wanted to look at for a minute, and that is how we, first of all, handle what we call treasures. Jesus saw in his day people who were driven by things. He saw in his day people who were chasing, if you will, phantom treasures. For he makes it explicitly clear in the text that if you can touch it, it won't last. I wanted to argue for a minute because we live in a day and a time whereby one's success and one progress is measured by what one possesses. I want to argue that it's more important to be possessed than it is to have possessions. You're going to catch that one on the way home. I want to argue that you need to belong to God more than you need to have stuff in your hand. Jesus says to those who were listening to him that certainly life does not consist in the abundance of things which one possesses. Walk with me if you can. Because if having things and holding things somehow lifting out the praise of our lives, then Michael Jackson would still be living. James Brown would still be alive. You're going to walk with me for a minute. If what you owned determined how long you stayed on the earth, a lot of us wouldn't be here today. I thought I'd come and get your attention. Many of us would be missing from the congregation today if it was based on what we had. But we're here because who has us? Do I have a witness here? We are possessed by God. We're owned by him. And Jesus, he warns us who are believers to not get caught up in this chase, to not get caught up in this desire to want more. And my brothers and my sisters, I think I need to tell you that really the tangible is tainted and tarnished and will turn on you. Let me say that one more time. The tangible is tainted, is tarnished, and will turn on you. Your money will divorce you without warning. I thought I had somebody came to have a little church. Listen, you can wake up in the morning with a plenty, and you can go to bed in poverty. There's no guarantee that what's in the bank gonna keep trouble from your address. It was the proverbial writer in Proverbs. He says, "Will thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle towards heaven." In other words, you can't keep it. I don't care how you anchor it down, it'll leave you. I don't care how you guard it, have somebody else watch it, it'll leave you. And you do know that if your stuff don't leave you, you can leave the stuff. Oh, I thought I had some then. See, those, you got to watch these people, because, see, the unbelievers' security is in their stuff. Our security is in our Savior. Let me say that one more time. I said the unbelievers' security is in their stuff, but our security is in our Savior. You hear people who have stuff bragging about how set they are and how they don't have to worry about this and how they don't have to worry about that. But can I raise the question? If death came, do you have enough that he will suspend your departure time because of how large your house is? I won't tell you if you're in a shanty shack or a mansion. Big Mama say when the Lord get ready for you, you got to go. You got to leave here. And you can be, and my mom would say, broke as a he ain't. If God wants to keep you here, you'll stay right here. Now that response was mighty weak from some poor folk. I thought I had somebody know what I'm talking about, because we're still here. Car on empty, bank account on low, cupboard is kind of shaky, but we're still here. Yeah, God is keeping us alive. Have our witness here. And so he says now, you need to have treasure. Treasures are real. He's not anti-treasure in the text. No, he's not telling you don't have them. No, matter of fact, he suggests you ought to have some. Because he starts off with the premise that they exist. But he starts talking about where to put them. He does not talk here in this text about how to get them. He talks about that in the 33rd verse when he says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things." See, there's nothing wrong with cars, clothes, and cash. The problem comes in when you're trying to hold them all together yourself. See, when you worry about who bump up against your car, who rub up against your car, who lean on your car is your God. I remember back in the day when I was growing up, you know, every black family had at least one mausoleum in the house. There was just one room in the house that was dedicated to being a mausoleum, a museum. Just they told us it was the living room. And you couldn't go in there till company came. And when company came, they were sitting around the kitchen table. Talk to me if you can. The furniture in there didn't wear out because it had plastic on it. You couldn't sit on it long because you start sweating. Wood knots and all this stuff was up in there. And it was just dedicated to looking good. I still don't know why. Somehow I get a sneaky suspicion because of the culture that we came up in. We didn't have a whole lot. And so we had to sanctify at least one room. And then, you know, if the living room happened to be connected to your front door, you couldn't come through that door. That's why today I go through every door I got in my house, because I said when I get a house, I ain't going in the back door just to get in the house. I'm going through the front door. I'm going to live in every room. I'm going to put some stuff, I'll leave stuff in the living room on purpose. Because it's called a living room, Harvey. And if you live in there, you ought to be able to leave some shoes in there every now and then. See, you got to watch how stuff will creep up on you and take control of you. Address change can change attitudes. A few more horses under the hood makes us stop speaking to certain people. The right emblem on our purse says you can't afford it. And I'm still scratching my head and about done lost all my hair trying to figure out why would I have a $500 purse and $5 in it. Now, I ain't had nobody come here. Wouldn't it make more sense to go to Goodwill or to the dollar store, get a $5 coin purse and have $500 in it? For them folk that talk about your coach and your roach and your don't care nothing about you. We dress to impress folk that's not impressed with us at all. He said, now, since you're going to have treasures, yeah, you're going to have some. You need to get the right kind, first of all. And that brings me to my first point in this text, is that we must have the proper perspective on treasures. See, you don't make the wrong treasure your treasure. Listen to what he says in the text. He said, lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth. Why, Jesus? I'm glad you asked. He said, because things happen to earthly treasures. He said, if it's your favorite garment and it's earthly, he said that is lunch for them all. I think I told you before, I got this nice full-length camel hair coat hanging in the coat closet at my house. And several winters ago, I found a day cold enough, you know, to style and profile. And I went to put it on, and I saw what looked like just a little speck of something on it, you know, and being that it was camel hair, you didn't want that speck on it, and I went to brush it. And I found out it wasn't a speck, it was a hole. And then upon further survey, I found out the malls had been having breakfast, lunch, and dinner because there were holes in the coat. Now just surmise and imagine if that was my life. I would have been destroyed. and devastated. But when I bought the camel hair coat, I bought a black one too. I'm sure it has holes, but you won't see them. Talk to me if you can. See, you can't let this stuff, Tony, creep up on you, man, because see, your body has a way of acting crazy and not cooperating. Stuff go to getting tight on you. And you can't get in it to save your life. Can't hold your breath that long. So if your clothes are making you who you are, you're going to be devalued by what you do at the table. He said, moths can eat them up. Rust will corrupt it. There's a seed of corruption in everything that's on this planet. Nothing comes here to stay. Nothing. That's why we are constantly repairing and replacing stuff on this building, because it's literally deteriorating before our eyes. And you'll be able to get this picture because you stood in the mirror this morning, and some of us had to slow down and look a little closer. Because stuff that we thought was going to go away is permanently placed. And no matter how much foundation and rouge you put on it, when you pull it off, it's still there. It's called a wrinkle. Can I get 5 people to help me? Care how you dyed, fried, lay it to the side. If it's gray, it's gray. It's telling you that you are wearing out. I'm moving into the suburbs of that neighborhood where they talk about when your steps get shorter. My stride is still long, but I struggle to get up sometimes. I have to remind the rest of me we're about to stand and ask my knees to please cooperate. Am I preaching to anybody in here? And I remember a day I could just hop up Stokes and go and wouldn't even know I had been sitting down, because I was young, I was vibrant, I was energetic. But as I live day by day, time is creeping up on me. You didn't come here to stay. You spend all your money big in all these big mausoleums, these big houses, 50 room house, 49 bathrooms, and can't use but one at a time. And then laugh at me because I got a 3-bedroom bath. Well, you ain't got but one bath. I don't need but one. I get there first, everybody else just fit in where they get in. You got to have the right perspective. Listen to the Bible. Listen to the Bible. Paul said in Colossians, Ray, he said, if ye then be risen, Colossians 3, verses 1 through 4. If ye then be risen with Christ. Everybody say risen with Christ. He said, if ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God. Set your affections on things above, not on things on earth. He said, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in God. And he said, when Christ, who is our life, verse 4, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Can I say it again? He said, if ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above. So when you get born again, something ought to happen to you. Now, I need cars, clothes, and show need some cash. But that should not control my life. Your affection ought to be on things above. And that's when he said, I beseech you therefore, my brethren, by the mercy of God, that you have your mind be transformed. You got to change your thinking. See, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right to lay up in store and prepare for retirement, but see, you may check out in the middle of the game. You know, you may have some plans after 70, but the Lord ain't getting you but 45 years. And that's why when they say, Lord, teach us to pray, he said, when you pray, say, give us this day well, talk to me in here. Our daily bread. If he feed me today, I have to depend on him to feed me tomorrow. That has my mind on another level. I can make it in a Trump world if the Lord feeds me day by day. See, it's about perspective. If you ever been on a trip? Ever in your life went anywhere other than where you live? You packed a certain amount of stuff. Don't care how long you were going to be gone. You didn't take all your clothes. And first arrival is excitement. Because probably you're from around some folk that you don't want to be bothered with for a while. You get, whoa, yeah. Every time I go on a business trip and I walk in the hotel door, I thank the Lord for the blessing. I thank the church for the financing. And I thank Jesus that my wife ain't in there with me. And I just start pulling stuff out all over the room. Ain't nobody to tell me to pick nothing up. Nobody to come behind me and fold up no cloth and hang up no towel. It just stuck everywhere. And I just had myself a good old time then. But you know, after a while, that wears thin. And I need to get home so I can be told to pick up my shoes and I can have my towel folded. And I need to have where I can straighten up stuff. And see, there's no place like home. I said, there's no place like home. And when you set your affection on things above, you realize this world is not your home. That's why they can make it, man, on a second-hand car. Because this world was not their home. See, too many of us trying to make it our home with creature comforts. Did you not know you can't please you? I'm going to back up and say that one more time. You cannot. You can please the baby. Get the baby the bar. Baby just content. Feed the husband. He's satisfied. Buy the wife some jewelry. She's happy. Take the kids to the movie. Everybody happy. But you, whoever you are, there's no pleasing you. Give you the control to the thermostat, and you still can't get tempered. Let you ride, you won't drive. You ain't even happy when you sleep. Cover up, kick all the cover off. If I can get 3 more, I close. We stay in a state of upheaval. We buy the latest and they're in the lab making something a little different. The emblem a little large on the latest model. And you go buy the latest model, then you come back, the emblem's a little small on that. If you can just wait a little while, it's coming around again. Yeah, it's coming. You know, when we were growing up, we used to get this haircut, and they call it a fair daddy. It was like somebody just put a bowl on your head and then cut all the hair that was exposed from under the bowl and then took the bowl off. And now they call it a fade. Same haircut. Same haircut. There's nothing new under the sun. So we got to have the right perspective on stuff. When you get the right perspective on stuff, a house is shelter. A clothes cover my nakedness. Food feeds my belly. A car transports me. That's it. That's it. None of that can do no more for me. Can't regulate my mind. Can't ease my pain. Can't fight my battles. None of that stuff. All it does is give us creature comforts. And Jesus said, if the moth don't get it, and if it doesn't rust, there's always somebody trying to take it. It just makes sense that stuff that's going to be exposed ought not cost a whole lot. That's why some folks don't come to church. They ain't against the preacher. They not mad at y'all. They just can't afford to leave what they got. Lady was in church one Sunday, and the guy was praying and said, Lord, I thank you for showing up. Then in the prayer, she walked up and said, did you say the Lord is here? Yes, ma'am, he's here. I said, he can't be here. I left him in my house, watching my house. If he watching my house, he can't be here. She's like, church, oh, I've got to go home because ain't nobody at my house watching my stuff. Serious question. I got to get to the next point. Serious question. If you were to awaken, and you did not have what you have now, could you still be who you are? Church, don't be lying in church. Because some of y'all ain't who you are if you can't find a certain pair of shoes. I know they in here somewhere. You see my blue shoe? I don't. But I was going to wear that brown suit, but I just could not find them cufflinks that went with it. Cufflinks, under sleeves. Won't be seen. Won't nobody know if you had on yellow cufflinks, green cufflinks, pink cufflinks, or if you just took a pen and pinned your sleeve together. Nobody knows. But you didn't come to church because you couldn't find your favorite socks. And you're going to tell me that if you lost all you have, you still be who you are? Okay, I'll give you that you just might be because you'll still be crazy. I ain't had nobody come here. We got to get the right perspective on stuff. There's no security in what you have. None. Whatsoever. Men have died in beds that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. No security in what you have. Then not only do we need a proper perspective on the treasure, we need the proper placement of the treasure. He said, look, don't just put your stuff anywhere. See, they tell you when you go and buy a whole lot of stuff, get these big 100-inch screen TVs and all that stuff, and they say, look, don't just put the box out to the road. You got a box out here for the microwave, you got a box out here for the TV, and you got a box out here for the computer, you got a box out here for your new phone, and you come home and ain't nothing there but your house. And you wonder, how did you get robbed? Who told them I had that? And they didn't have to go rumbling through your house. They said, here's the list: TV, cell phone, computer, Because we put the boxes out to broadcast, we had bought some stuff. Jesus said, if you want your treasure to last, they must be placed in heaven. But these robbers can't break through and look, everything I got in heaven is secure. Everything I got in heaven is secure. It's just waiting on me to get there so I can enjoy being there. Because the Bible said thieves and robbers can't inherit the kingdom. I don't worry about nobody stealing my stuff. Worry about nobody breaking in on me while I'm asleep. You got, he said, lay it up in heaven. Now, since we got the right perspective and we got the right placement, we need to look at the treasure because, see, you can't send no car to heaven. And I really don't want to do this, but I got to do this to put us in the right perspective. You can't send no folk to heaven. You got loved ones on the planet, you better enjoy them while you can. There's no way heaven would remain heaven if all the Hawkins were allowed to get in heaven. Because we would be as messy up there as we are down here. My mama would have her picks and chooses up there just like she got them down here. She loved her grandkids more up there than her children, just like she do down here. No matter, I'm going to see you in the morning. No, we ain't going to see one another with the remembrance and the perspective of how things are now. I'm married to Sister Hawkins. I pray until death do us part. But when either one of us die, we ain't married. Got to get perspective on this thing. You mean tell me if you could carry things the way they are now, that you love God more just because you was in heaven? You don't love him enough now. Because family and friends keep getting in the way. What's pulling at you? What did you have to step over, or who did you have to step over to get over here today? The weather sometimes get in our way. Oh, pretty day like today, boy, it had to be a struggle for somebody. If do nothing but just sleep in. Because all I got is the weekend. And don't have but 2 days. I had to do all my chores on Saturday. I'm going to sleep in at least one day, Pastor. I don't mean no harm, but I ain't getting up with nobody on Sunday. And then you going to heaven with that mindset? Lord, he need to hurry up. It's 9:06 and he ain't got to the third point. And you going to heaven? Where the Sabbath will have no end. You can't stay in church an hour and a half. You going to heaven? The treasures that we have is salvation. We've been saved. We've been changed. We have an incorruptible inheritance that faded not away. Our goal is to get home someday, but to get there in the spirit. When I get home from a business trip, that night it is comfortable sleeping. Because I'm in familiar surroundings. Or when I get home from a business trip, there are worries that are taken away from me. because I'm home with those I worry about. Or when I get home from a business trip, I don't have to drag around no baggage because I'm at home. When I get home from a business trip, I don't have to dress up to go to breakfast because I'm at home. Have I got a witness here? Well, that's what they meant by Clifford when they said that this world is not my home. Great God, they said I'm only passing through. Have I witness here now? Every time I check in the hotel, it is explicitly understood that I have an arrival time, Lord, and that I have a departure time. Do you hear me? And I make sure that if anything happens, I may leave early. But I'm not trying to stay no longer than I have to. Great God Almighty, I'm not feeling suicidal or definitely right now, but oh, what a day it shall be when I get home. Oh Lord, trouble will be over. When I get home, burden will be banished. Lord, when I get home, joy bells are going to be ringing when I get home. Is there anybody in here who want to go home and be with Jesus? The Lord saying that you need to put your treasure in the right place. I'm gone here now, but I told you need to have the proper perspective on your treasure. Lord, and then you need to have a proper placement of the treasure. Great God, and Jesus said, lay it up in heaven with thieves and robbers cannot break through and steal. I want to tell you one more thing. God's layaway plan is the permanent treasure. He wants you to have things that fade is not away. Or what do you want me to have, Larry? I'm glad you asked. He wants you to have peace that passes all understanding. Do I have any help in here now? He wants you to have joy unspeakable and full of glory. Yeah, Lord. He wants you to have sonship. He wants you to have a place in glory. Good morning here now. But I need to tell somebody I don't possess houses or land, fine clothes or jewelry, sorrows and cares in this whole world. My life seemed to me that I have a Christ who paid the price way back. Do I have any help in here? On Calvary, didn't he do it? And he's all the world to me. Yes, Lord, I'm so glad that Christ is all I need. He had the wealth of the world in his hand. Is there anybody in the room who knows that? Yes, Lord, back in the day, yeah, Lord, we used the layaway plan because we couldn't afford what we had to have. We put it on the layaway. Do you hear me? When the time came, we had paid it out. Yes, Lord. And I want to tell somebody, you need to be putting on layaway something in glory. And one of these days, when it's all over, you will you'll be able to go home. Where you going, Larry? I'm going where the wicked shall see some troubling, and the weary shall be at rest. Is there anybody in this room whose business is fixed and your mind is made up? Don't play with me here now, but I need somebody who can say some glad morning when this life is over. I'm gonna fly away. Do you have anything up yonder where Jesus is? I'm going where the wicked shall see some troubling and the weary shall be at rest. I need 5 more of y'all to get excited about when this life is over. It's not over, because the Lord, he's going to give me a body that won't wear out. I wish I had somebody who could shout now. No diabetes where I'm going. No heart trouble where I'm going. No thyroid problem where I'm going. No kidney trouble where I'm going. Because there's a tree in the middle of the garden whose leaves are good for the healing of the nation. I got to close here now, but I want to close by telling a story that I heard Dr. C.A.W. Clark tell. He told it as a testimony. He said his mama, they worked on a plantation and they were sharecroppers. Do you hear me? That means they worked on somebody else's property and they worked for them and got cheated out their money. And he said one day as his mama was holding that roll, that white man rode up on his horse and he leaned over and he said something to his mama. And when the white man rode off, his mama didn't chase him with the hoe. She just stood there and looked toward heaven and said, soon I will be done with the troubles of this world. Is there anybody in here who know that by and by when the morning comes you will be done with the troubles of this world? If your business is fixed, come on and testify. Where are my worshipers in here who know that your soul is anchored in the Lord? Is there anybody in here who knows that when these eyes close and this tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth and this right hand loses her cunningness? Is there anybody in here who knows that don't cry for me because my business is fixed? One Monday night I came to Jesus just as I was, weird, old and sad, but I found in him a sweet old resting place. Anybody know he's real? If you know he's real, let me hear you say, yeah! Shout yeah! Yeah! He said, lay up treasures. Yeah. He said, lay him up, Spoonie, in heaven where thieves and robbers can't break through. I got some friends and they want to know how big my house is, and they want to know what kind of car I'm driving. They want to know what model my truck is, and I tell them I'm driving 05. They say, 05, man, this is 17. I said, I'm driving 05. They say, but it's 17. I said, I'm driving 05. So you need to get with the times. I said, I am. I'm getting with them. Just ain't in this world. I'm as rich as they come where I'm going. I say I'm as rich as they come where I'm going. Don't judge me by that little house I lay my head in. That's more than adequate for me and Sister Hawkins. But when it's over down here, I got a new home. Over in glory. Bless you. Bless you, bless you. Down here I'm scorned, but over there I'm royalty. I'm a child of the King. While Jim Crow was raising his ugly head and white supremacy was running rampant through the land, they would encourage one another by saying, I got a robe, and you got a robe. I got shoes, and you got shoes. All of God's children. And you know, Penn, every now and then I go by O'Reilly's Auto Zone, and I go into the air freshener section. Give me one of the Christmas trees that said, new car smell. Run that truck through the car wash, vacuum it out, and hang up that Christmas tree. And in 30 days, I ain't got to write no check. Ain't no money swiped from my account. New car smell cost me about $1.89. But over yonder, you want treasures, but you don't want them that you can touch. See, can't nobody touch your joy. Can't nobody touch your peace. He gave me peace that passes all understanding. There have been so many storms in my life, he didn't calm none of them. He calmed me in the midst of the storm. And folks be saying stuff like, I don't know how you make it. I don't know how you take it. And I tell them just like this, greater is he that's in me than anything I shall face in the world.